18 naked cowboys at Ram Ranch. I made the joke. Now you can laugh. Striker, everyone's favorite animated snake cowboy. Wait. Okay, let's talk about Striker. I love this guy since the millisecond he showed up on screen.
Well, howdy.
Extra biased because one of my favorite actors voiced him. Oh, yeah, his voice. There was a lot of talk about that. But why? Okay, so he was recast. That's not uncommon. Oh, but there's more? Okay, let's take a big ol' dive right into this.
Boy, these are good.
What's good, gays and bays? I am Skelly Dilly, and welcome to the channel. Go take a little peek at my other videos, and maybe, just maybe, go check out my webcomic. It's really cool. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, Striker. We all love a good villain, and this fellow was definitely set up with conflict from the get-go. Only starting out with showing up our beloved boy Moxie, until Moxie discovered Striker's big secret. He's out to shoot up the overlords! Okay, but this raises an interesting point in the plot, because we all feel a little biased towards overlords, because hey, Stolas is an overlord. We love Stolas, come on! But put yourself in the shoes of Striker, or Blitz, or literally any imp, and just think for a second about how tone deaf our sweet Stolas really is. That hurts. So maybe, just maybe, Striker isn't that awful of a guy. Sure, he's manipulative and not above killing other imps that stand in his way, and wait, what? He's working for an overlord too? Okay, this guy's full of questions, which is a great setup for an antagonist. We know his goals, maybe, but do we know Striker himself? No. There is so much potential for this guy. I cannot wait for him to return. Yeah, then he returned. It was a mixed bag on his new voice, which is okay as long as you aren't harassing the voice actors over it. I myself have a bit of bias towards Norman Reedus voicing him, and I just liked his accent a bit more. But Ed Bosco objectively did a bang-up job. I don't blame the people who prefer Ed's voice for Striker more. It's really up to personal preference at the end of the day. But the issue doesn't lie with the new voice, in my opinion.
Sans, I just snorted a suitcase full of coke, and I'm starting to feel the effects near.
Okay, so I loved Western Energy. I loved Oops even more so, but there were some issues I couldn't stop thinking about when it came to Western Energy. Firstly, I don't think Striker's fight with Moxie and Millie should have been interrupted by the scenes at the vet with Luna and Blitz and get all of that. It was fine. It was fine to have a little arc in between all that, but yeah, it really just broke the intensity to the fight that everyone was so hyped for. But the most noticeable thing was the tonal shift in Striker as a character. In his introduction episode, Harvest Moon Festival, he was cunning, manipulative, and a tad egotistical. May not have won every fight he got into, but he was absolutely badass. He felt like a force to be reckoned with. Now, kind of like a spoof on a Western action bad guy or something. He's definitely not played up to be nearly as serious as he was. He has his moments, but now he gets thrown around like a bit of a wet towel. It's funny, but not the Striker we first got to know. There's the argument to be made that he let his guard down a little because he was in the comfort of his own home, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Also, how is he completely distracted by Fizz singing in Oops? Like, it's all just odd to me. how fast Stryker's characterization changed, and I guess many others and I are wondering why. What was the writing shift in this character? What really changed between these two appearances he's had? It just boggles my mind a little bit. As someone who really enjoys villains, I got attached to Stryker as a character pretty quickly. He rose a lot of questions that I and many others were very invested in, and we seem to have gotten an answer for like one of them, but I don't know, it felt a little short-lived. But I'm just hoping they pick this guy back up, and yeah, what are they doing with him?
Hey. Look.
Okay, here's to me spilling some more thoughts. Let's go full bozo mode here and theorize some things real quick. Part of me wonders if Stryker had been written so differently to suit a new voice actor. Some roles are centered around their respective actors to really seal both together. Who knows? Not to say a new voice actor couldn't act the same characterization that Norman did for Stryker. It's just a thing I've seen happen. But I don't really know the process behind these things when it comes to the team behind Helluva Boss, so hence why this is just a theory. Now, another, probably much more realistic theory here is, well, remember when I brought up how out of character it felt for Stryker to be distracted by Fizz's, well, distraction performance in Oops? What if seeing this spectacle opened up a floodgate of memories, nostalgia even? So, hear me out here. What if Stryker looked up to Fizz as a performance artist? You know, seeing that imps can make it big, just fine. Representation like that would mean a lot to someone so awfully oppressed. And then only for Stryker to see Fizz rise to fame further through Mammon, an overlord. Something Stryker quite fairly despises. Wouldn't that leave a real bad taste in Stryker's mouth? You know, leading him to have some pretty bitter hatred towards Fizz. This could explain his really out-of-character awe for Fizz, and his very in-character hatred for him. I've seen a lot of people have a problem with Stryker being written differently. Now, as much as I prefer his former characterization, him being written differently is really just that. Different. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just something we're not used to. But I really like to question things, that's just my thing, so here's to me questioning why. I'm very curious as to what the decision behind this was. Hey, thanks guys for tuning in for another video. I hope you guys like hearing me just ramble about shit I like. That's really what I'm doing here. It's a really nice outlet to just talk about subjects I'm interested in, and I have a lot more ideas. I may do a FNAF video next. There's a subject that has been on my mind for a while concerning FNAF, and I have to do my research for this one, but I think the time will absolutely be worth it. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to my channel. I have some cool animatics and stuff, and yeah, read my webcomic. I am going to be throwing that at y'all's craniums as hard as I can. I have put so much work into this, and I'm really excited about it. And for more frequent art, go follow my Instagram. The links for all this stuff is in the description. I post pretty regularly on Instagram. I have commissions open, and yeah, I just post a lot of fan art. So go check all that stuff out, and stay tuned.